Inca, those symbolic gestures tell us that we have the strength to be great, but not the vision to attain it. Kunter Soul, it is time that you encounter Rumenawi. Man of the future, why do you come to meet with me? You should be with the nobility who are giving the Inca bad tactical advice, and now the invaders are inside the plaza. Who is going to get them out of there? We can't fight them. Rumenawi, the generals of Atahualpa are in Cuzco. You are the only one who can save the empire. Are you going to help the Inca when he needs you? If Atahualpa is taken prisoner and I try to rescue him, I could end up with two enemies, the bearded men and the Incas. If you don't fight them, not only the Incas are going to lose, but all of you as a race. You need to combine the different instruments of war that each nation has and confront a modern army. I know that the alos, round stones tied to ropes, are what the mounted men fear the most. When thrown to a horse it wraps around its legs, and the animal falls. But you are not going to use them, and in a few hours you will not have a commander-in-chief. I will do what is convenient when the time comes. Go and comfort the Inca or court the Spaniards. You, as a man of the future, seem to be unable to take sides. Don Francisco, I see that you are ready to exterminate these credulous people. KVA. We have spent the whole night awake. My priest has been praying, the cavalry mounted, my infantry defecating from panic, and you are telling me that we are going to butcher them? If you don't know yet, this might be our last night. Let us follow history that is chiseled in stone by them, and it will be written with blood by us. Atahualpa ordered that 6,000 of his men prepare for the short march. A long road that the Indians and mestizos are still trekking for not knowing what happened to our ancestors, and why it happened. Soiled and sleepless, the Spaniards were commending their soul to the Almighty during a mass officiated by Valverde. After the communion, the priest gave his sermon. Christians, you are about to do God's work. If you live, I will absolve you of all the killing that you will do. If you die, your rewards will be in heaven. Fear not that the Almighty will protect us. The priest's intentions had not a hint of hypocrisy in what he was preaching. Even in our times, we are still killing with the notion that God has created some races or nations to survive over others. The Spaniards believed that they were on a grand crusade, and they exalted their cruelty against those who did not accept their beliefs. Although worlds apart, Atahualpa was no different than in the old world. He was also going to sacrifice the strangers for the same reasons, and offer them to Inti. While Atahualpa was going to the plaza, both parties were sending emissaries to size up each other's movements. The Inca knew of their numbers, but he was not aware of what was in store for him. The Spaniards feared that Atahualpa could change his mind and not come to be taken hostage, a decision that could alter the destiny of both. ¿Qué pasa? The Inca has stopped. It is noon and this Indian is taking his time. Capitan. A Chasca has come with a message from the Inca that he will come tomorrow with armed warriors. Felipillo. Explain the runner that his lord can come as he wishes. Soto, let us send Saldana as my representative. He is the youngest and the scrawniest of my soldiers. Atahualpa, after seeing him, will think that we are not as dangerous. The Inca became furious at the sight of the unimposing emissary. He ordered that his warriors take his sword. Whether in defiance or out of fear, Saldana held on to his weapon. Atahualpa, contrary to what he had seen when Soto and Hernando went to meet him, thought that perhaps the rest of the Spaniards were as meek as the soldier seemed to be. Seeing the diminutive Spaniard trembling for his life, the Inca, still puzzled by his boldness, let him go with a message that he would be in the plaza at sunset. In disbelief, Saldana left as fast as he could. Who knows? Perhaps Francisco sent him because he was an astute soldier. He held to his sword, for what reason? He had not a chance. That pride comes from their Spanish heritage. Whether old or poor, they maintain their self-importance, and why we all want to be Spaniards and not Indians or mestizos. Atahualpa, you have halted your march midway to the plaza. Have you changed your mind, and perhaps let your troops fight them? Kunter Sol. I am the Sapa Inca. I do as Inti inspires me. Inca. This is not the time to play with gods, it is a real war. At least, they see it that way. Once they have you inside the square, there will not be any action from your people, if you don't lift a finger. The Inca thought that he was prepared for all eventualities, and he ordered, Marca Vilca, send a messenger to tell them that I will come with unarmed men, and dispatch a chasca to Ruminawi to get ready to catch the mounted men who try to run away. Great Atahualpa, you don't need to go inside the plaza. I will take care of them. Sinquinchera, I am a warrior. It wouldn't be fit not to be in front of my troops. I want to see the Apu Machu in person, and impress on him that I am the only lord of the land. Remember, HUÁSCAR is still alive. As described by different chroniclers, 6,000 or 7,000 people began the short trek toward the square with all the pomp befit an emperor. Hundreds of men led the entourage, clearing the road of debris, followed by dancers and musicians giving the event a carnivalesque atmosphere while the Inca in his sumptuous litter was imbibing chicha. Then, the thousands of warriors wearing checkered designed uniforms and armed with ceremonial clubs followed last. Unknowingly, they were all marching to their final destiny. Atahualpa was thinking that the strangers perhaps came to celebrate his victory against HUÁSCAR. In the spiritual history of the Incas, they believed that alien beings came to their ancestral lands, and that someday they would return. Atahualpa was not sure if this was the time, and if the bearded men were the ones. A belief not only peculiar to the Incas, the Christian world is also waiting for the return of the Messiah. But deep in our souls we do not want this to happen, for it will be the final day of judgment. It still remains to be seen what we will do, if he does, and if he ever comes, will we crucify him again or receive him well, even if he is not God? What are we going to do? We think that we are too advanced to accept any man-like creature coming from nowhere and telling us, I am the Redeemer. Can anyone imagine that?